Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, guys, to my Love Island. Oh, shoot. Look at that. I have not done Love Island in the
I know. I
longest.
was like, love.
Oh, my gosh. In the longest time. And I am stuck in Love Island mode. But we are here to cover the Golden Bachelorette. And so we are back with your Bachelor Nation coverage. And with me tonight is Miss T Joy. How are you, Miss T?
Hi.
So I was telling Miss T Joy that I was crying. I
Yes.
was absolutely crying at this episode. At first I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is kind of hokey, but uh yeah. I actually was crying but they did a really good job, especially considering when they did the Golden Bachelorette, I feel like we had a different vibe, right? This
Right.
one I feel like was I feel like they leaned more into the nostalgia and sadness of moving on, and with Joan's journey, it feels more like oh my gosh, like we're actually going to start a fresh new experience, right?
hmm
That's how
hmm
it felt to me. Is that how it felt to you?
Yeah, and it just felt like we're gonna heal together. We're gonna go through this together. We're gonna heal together. We're gonna grow. We're all scared, but we're gonna go through this together. And went by together. I mean, the contestants, Joan, and the kids. Like we all gonna go through this together. And I
Yes.
like that about it. I like that about it.
Yes. I like the different vibe. Like it was definitely much needed. So if you watched our Bachelor Golden Bachelor coverage, which if you haven't, you can head to my YouTube. I do have a playlist with all our Golden Bachelor coverage.
hmm
We really loved that season. We did.
Yep.
It did not necessarily end the way we hoped. I mean, we did get everything. We got a wedding, we got everything, but we also
Yeah.
got a divorce.
Sure. We that wasn't on our bingo card.
It was not on our
Weren't
bingo
expecting
card.
that.
Um,
Especially we weren't expecting it within 6 months. We definitely weren't expecting that.
we were not expecting that at all. So it was very different than what we thought we were going to end up with, considering the journey that we took to get there. Um, I still feel like he chose the right person. I think that their journey, if you watch it, was it was the journey, and just like any other bachelorette journey, you never know what you're going to get. We were supposed to cover the Bachelorette this season. I am, in hindsight, glad. So between work and covering two Love Islands, I did not get to cover our first Asian Bachelorette, but I am kind of glad we did not. Welcome, Debu. Welcome back
Hi,
to our
Deborah.
recap, Debu. Yes, I am kind of glad we did not cover it. That has been a absolute uh, shit show,
Mess. Mess.
mess. And ultimately, it was a horrifying journey. Um, I will say we end up finding out the person that she chose probably was a game player, but also now we're finding out he had restraining orders against him, which is very, very disappointing. But we also have a current cast member of the Golden Bachelorette who also had restraining orders against them.
Really?
Yes. So they apparently will be, spoiler alert, he does end up getting through the first rose ceremony. They will be editing around him in future episodes, apparently. Um, yeah.
So is so are they not doing their research? Are they just not
I don't
um checking the court records when people apply and like,
I
to
don't
see if
know.
there are
It's
any active cases. Like, let me just.
Well, that's the thing. So the thing is with active cases, they probably look during casting for active cases. But if the court cases have been sealed, or if it doesn't happen till closer to, so do you remember Married at First Sight?
Yes,
Do you remember Mia?
on season 2.
She was season 2 or season 3, where she had a restraining order against her, and they didn't find out until she was supposed to fly out for their honeymoon, and come to find out, she had a restraining order from her against an ex. uh,
Mm-hmm.
it was a whole thing. They didn't get to go on their honeymoon. It was a lot actually, but sometimes if the situation is too close to airing, recording, all that stuff, they might not check again unless they have to
Right.
do something like fly out somewhere, right? So
Okay. Yeah, but I just need them to have a team where they need to check when they cast them, and they need to check 48 hours beforehand. Like, you got to check again because this can't keep happening.
Debu says, "Did we see the Brandon and Serene drama?" I seen some of it. I
This
watched a couple
interview.
of YouTube. I didn't watch his interview.
What was
Um,
that clip? Who sent that clip? Was that you that sent the clip?
yes, I did send the clip. I saw the clip,
Yeah, I only
but I
saw the
didn't.
clip. I didn't watch the whole thing. It was the clip was trauma. I was like, I don't want to be back invested in it. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry. I pray for y'all, but I don't want to be back enmeshed in it. I did it. I did it.
yeah. So, that there's a lot around that situation. He's making some concerning
Claims. Yeah.
claims. I will say that her brother, other friends of her who are in Bachelor Nation, have come to her defense and saying that they witnessed things that he did to her that she's never talked about. So I don't know. All I know is initially with his first statement, he says he was inappropriate because he didn't end things clean. Now
Mhm.
he's saying, oh no, she was cheating first and she was emotionally abusive, and I don't know. I'm out of that. You already know I wasn't a fan of him in the first place.
Yeah, I know. I thought
So
they were good together, though. I really did.
so
I
did
thought
I.
they were good together, and when all of that came out, I was enmeshed in it then, and I just feel like I just can't go back down that rabbit hole. Like, y'all have been broken up for what, 2.5 years at this point.
Yeah,
Why are we going back down that road? Like,
don't know. I don't know. So at the end of the day, I will not litigate relitigate that situation because
right.
it's a lot. But I will, we will keep watching. If more comes out, maybe we'll talk about it here. So we do see Joan. I think how do you say her name? Vasos.
Vasos. Hmm.
Yeah. 61, getting dressed and then looking out into the balcony. She's really kind of just setting the tone for where we're going in this journey. She looks amazing. I will
She
say
looked beautiful in that dress. My God. That
I
dress was
am
so good on her.
so glad they chose Joan. I was very actively against them choosing one of Gary's runner-ups.
Yeah.
I did not think that they were emotionally prepared or ready or should be the first Golden Bachelorette. So
Mhm.
I'm very happy they chose Joan. She when she left, I was hoping that she would come back and get a chance. I am so glad it's in this capacity, and I cannot wait to watch the rest of her journey.
She looks
Uh,
great. I'm
she
happy
looks
for
amazing.
her. I liked her. I thought when she left, I thought her and Gary had like a great connection. I was sad for her to go at that point. I was like, oh, they have a good connection. I'm sad, for her to go, but I understood her wanting to be there for her mother, for her daughter and her grandchild, and I respected that wholeheartedly. So I'm glad she gets this opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Dabu said, "Imagine we got Leslie with sugar." Exactly, exactly. And I remember Game of Roses had said that it was an error in the game for Joan to self eliminate the way she did, and it would not get her any further in the Bachelor Nation enterprise.
And look at that. They're wrong.
They were very, very wrong. They swore it was going to be Leslie. Swore up and down it
I'm
was going
so glad it was not Leslie. Leslie was not ready. Leslie was not ready.
to exactly. So we do see her talk about her husband who died. His name was John. He died of pancreatic cancer.
Oh,
Um, and she said it was devastating. They had 30 plus years together. And we primarily see her like walking through the snow. It's dark. She's talking about how devastating that was to her children, how he died, how she had to break the news to her children. And then we see her with her daughter and her granddaughter that she had to leave the journey the first time for. And she says being a mom and a grandmother is the most and the first thing for her. Uh,
mm-hmm.
and then we see more family, and then we see her walking through a field, and it's like just like this imagery of going from darkness into the light,
Like,
to the potential of an open field of possibilities. I loved
mm-hmm.
it. I loved.
Okay, producer Tamika. Okay.
Yeah, I loved it. And then we see her headed to the bachelor mansion in that beautiful dress, and Jesse
I
does.
mean, that dress. I mean, can we just, really talk about the dress? The dress seemed like it was made for Joan. She looked so good in that dress. I was looking at her. I was like, these men about to lose their mind. These 60-some-year-old men about to get out and start having heart palpitations when they see this woman in this dress. Okay. She was
Yeah,
serving
she
body.
was
Okay.
amazing. I mean, really, I don't even. I don't think they could have done better. It was
Uh-huh.
golden.
Yep.
Um, it was a high neck
Yep.
necklace with this beautiful like
That
sheer
bow.
bow on the back. I
Yes.
mean,
All the
let
way
me grab it
down.
so we can see.
Yes. Yes.
And it accentuated everything in the right place without it
Yep.
being dowdy or from
Over sexualized or anything.
or over
It just,
sexualized.
yeah,
Yeah,
it just looked beautiful. It was just
yeah.
perfect. Yep.
And so it no, I don't. Here we go. This one. It just was. Here we go. Let me share. It just was the perfect um presentation of Joe.
Absolutely. It was. Yeah, it was. So then here comes Jesse.
Yeah. Jesse comes and he is you know greeting Joan and explaining how, like, asking her how she feels and explaining
Mhm.
that she's finally here. And I was like, okay, okay, Jesse. Um, let me bump this up so you can see. Oh, I hate when they do this. I can't scroll. It just was, you know, buy a Mac, they said. There we go.
That is what they said.
There we go. Oh, and I didn't even realize it was like sheer at the bottom so you could see her shoes.
Ooh, nice.
It's just, oh, and it just perfectly, like, with all the candle lights.
Yes.
everything. The roses that they used on the back were perfectly offsetting to this.
Yeah, it
Perfection,
was great. It was great.
perfection, perfection. So, um, yeah. So he just asked how she's feeling and how she feels about being back, and she says she's great. She can't wait, and she's
Right.
so excited. I'm so excited for her. And so we get the first limo coming up. And out of the limo first is Pascal, who is 60. He's from Paris. He's a salon owner. Um, he says he likes women who knows how to present themselves. Should we go through all the men in limo one and then we talk about our standouts, or should we talk about each one? Because do you remember
No,
each?
I think we should go through the limo and then talk about our standouts.
Okay. And then we have Kim, 69, retired Navy captain from Washington. And he is divorced and widowed. So he did have a wife that he married after being divorced for many years. And they were together for 8 years. And then she did pass away. Joan seems to really like him. She does say she likes a man in uniform.
Hello, so do I. Okay.
And then we see Chalk, who's 60, an insurance executive from Kansas. And he brings Chocadoodle soup. I was like, okay. I
Because
mean,
apparently, because she had said she makes really good chicken noodle soup,
yes, I think she did mention that during their season.
and so he was like, "Oh, so I want you to taste my soup, and then when I go to your house to visit for the hometowns, then I can make your kids soup."
It's,
Okay. I mean, just state your claim. I'm with it.
yeah. And then we have Jonathan, who arrives blindfolded with a golden blindfold, and she has to like talk him to her. He's 61, a shipping consultant from Iowa, and he said he could relate to her feeling invisible at their age.
I
He
thought that was sweet.
I thought it was sweet too. And that he shares custody of his children after his divorce, and that they are very important to him, just like her children are important to her. I thought that was a cute entrance. Jordan, 61, sales manager from Chicago, impressed her by uh he's impressed by her selflessness. He has three daughters, and family is everything to him.
Mm.
We had Michael, 65, retired banking CEO from Charlotte. He was so stunned by Joan's beauty, he forgot her name. I loved
He
it.
was stumbling over everything. I felt like he forgot his name. He was just like,
Next, we have Thomas, who's 62. He is a retired, I believe, retired FDNY chief or current FDNY chief from New York, New York. Gary, 65, a retired finance executive from California. He dances with her a bit. He's very jovial.
mm-hmm.
He does not look 65 whatsoever.
No, nope.
He didn't look over a day over
First of
55
all,
personally.
if you want to talk about it, some of these men look better than some of the regular men that be on the. These
The
men look
bench,
good for their age. These men look
they
good for
did,
their age. I ain't
they
lying.
did, they did. Next we have Greg, who's 64. He's a retired university VP from Florida, and talks about her liking the beach. So he brought her a sand dollar because he gets paid in sand dollars because he's retired. He thinks Joan looked like royalty. I have to agree
Agree.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Pablo, 63, retired UN agency director from Maryland. Bob, 66, a chiropractor with a camcorder recording for his kids. Um,
Mm-hmm. That was
Jack,
cute.
That was Jack 68, a caterer singing to Joan Our Way. We're going to end up getting back to Jack. All
Jack's a
right.
character.
So that was limo one. So
Okay,
who
so
would
who
you
stood
stand
out?
up?
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, Jack is doing a lot. He's singing, he cooking. Jack is doing the most. Okay.
Yes.
He seems like he want to be the life of the party. Jack looking around at the mansion. He talking about all this stuff. I think I think he's there for a good time. He might. I mean, he don't mind getting to know her, but I don't know if he's as serious as Joan is. I don't. He's not her person in my eyes. That's not her person.
No,
But
definitely. And he's somebody's person, but I don't think he's her person.
right.
He's a little put on. Um, there's some lady out there who would enjoy his messiness in their life.
You know who would enjoy him? Um,
Teresa, not Teresa.
the one
What?
that cooks.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
Susan. Susan. I was thinking the
Susan. Yes, him and Susan would have a ball, honey. You hear me?
same.
They
Yes,
would have a ball. They'd be having cook-offs.
yes,
They'd be in there drinking wine and bourbon, having a good time dancing. He'd be crooning to her. They'd be slow dancing in the kitchen. And I just think they would have a good time.
yes. I need somebody on the Bachelor Nation team to hook Susan and Jack up.
Yes. I think
Got
that's
it.
a good time.
Got it.
Mhm.
Who else? Who else stood out to you
Um,
in this group?
I liked the Golden Blindfold. I liked him.
I
I
like him
I
too.
liked him. She was like, I see that little dimple right there. I mean, I think she found him very attractive. I think they connected on the being invisible. I think they just had an instant connection, and I liked their connection. So he stood out to me.
Yes, he absolutely stood out to me. Who else? I mean, I think Pascal's accent was
Dreamy. Hmm.
dreamy. I thought Kim, she seems very attracted to Kim.
Uh-huh. The naval
Um
retired
the
Navy
name,
captain. Yeah, oh yeah,
yes,
she liked that man in uniform. Yes, she do.
yes. And then who else? I can't think of anybody else that she out of the guys. I have their pictures up because I can't remember everybody. Uh yeah, I can't think of everybody that she the French guy's gonna know. Yeah, the guys like Teresa. I can see that one.
He don't even know. He like, what you talking about, Rose? He didn't even know a first impression Rose. He like, what you talking about?
What are
Like,
you talking
you
about?
recommend Rose?
Yeah, I think that was it. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody else in this group, I think, was a stand out. Maybe
Yeah, I mean,
Michael.
Rose was okay. He wasn't a standout, but I
Yeah,
think, she's gonna keep him
yeah,
around.
yeah. Maybe Michael. Maybe Michael as well. The one that forgot his name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have limo two, which was Charles L. He is 66, retired data analyst from Pennsylvania, has two daughters. They're all grown up. He has been widowed for 6 years now. He's lonely. He does say he's been married 36. He seems like the sweetest man.
He seems so sweet.
So sweet. I love this story. Sad, but like, I hope this journey for him, even if him and Joan don't make anything of it, I hope that just the journey for him, because I think he's been holding back for a very long time. Um, and even his daughter seemed to say that in her video later. I hope it makes him more open to finding somebody because I think he would be a prize for anybody.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think he's just such a devoted person. I think it just took a lot out of him when she died. And then
Yeah.
I think he just had to be like there for his daughters. And then you just, even if you get lonely, you think he just comes across as the type that I don't want them to think I'm forgetting about their mother. I don't want them to think I'm moving on. So even though they have their lives and are married, he's over there suffering and lonely, but still like, you know what I mean, wanting to be loyal to the fact that he doesn't want to make it seem like he's trying to move on too quick or whatever. And so I think this is good for them. I'm glad they encouraged him, and I hope this really works for his
Yeah,
healing.
me too, me too, me too. Um, let's see. Next was Ken. No, no, sorry. I went to the next chart. And next is this guy, 66.
Oh,
Um,
the
the
ER
ER
physician.
doc, yes, from Nevada. Um, I also think that he is um like like she looked like she was attracted to him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it looked like, I mean, you couldn't really see it, but it looks like he might be like in shape. You
Yeah,
know, like maybe a health nut because he is a physician and he's still at 66, he's still in the ER. Not even like just a family practice doctor or whatever. You still on the, that's like the battlefield. You in the ER at night
yeah,
or in the daytime, the rush of it and having to perform surgery and stuff. So, and on your feet. And so he seems like he keeps fit. And I think she was very attracted to him. I think
yeah.
when she hugged him, she felt something like, oh, he might got some muscles. Like,
Then was Charles K, who is 62, a portfolio manager from California. He comes out with a walking cane, and we see Jack looking on like, "Oh my God, this guy can't even walk." Jack watches as Charles drops to the ground with the cane, and Joan goes over to try to, and
yeah.
then like, "No, I got it," and starts doing push
One handed, like push ups. And Jack's like, are you serious?
so incredibly cute. Like I thought that was so cute.
uh-huh.
Then Ken 60, property manager treasurer from Massachusetts, and some of these they start just blowing by.
Uh-huh.
Dan 64, private investor from Florida. Christopher 64-year-old contractor from Babylon, New York, and he brings prune juice.
He said, so stuff can start flowing regular. Sir, is that what you came up with, sir? I know my grandma back in the day, she would be drinking some prune juice, but sir, is that what you came
Oh my God, I
up?
can't. Um, then RJ, 66-year-old financial advisor from California. Um, he brings lilies and he says, I think you're looking for a man in finance, 6'5" and blue eyes.
Right.
I thought that was cute.
That was so cute.
Um,
I'm like, who taught him that?
one of his daughters and granddaughters
uh-huh.
definitely, no, you gotta use this line when you
Yeah.
go.
And I
uh,
love it. I mean, it's always a nice touch. I like, for me as a woman, just for a man to bring me flowers. I love it. I'm still old school. Like I still like that. Like, oh, I love. Oh, you brought me flowers. Like, so I thought that was nice. Like, if
I
nothing else,
thought,
bring some flowers.
right. And then we have Gil, 60, educator. He is the one with the restraining order, so we will limit our conversations around him.
Okay.
Um, and then Bill, 68, retired videographer. David, 68, rancher from Texas, who arrives on a horse.
Baby, he ain't even know that horse had left. He over there amazed, looking at her in that gold gown, and he focused on her. Then he like, yeah, I want you to meet the horse. She said that horse.
It's gone. Then we have Keith, 62, San Jose, arrives in an old station wagon. He is a girl dad, um, who leads with his heart. And we do see in this little package that he is separated from his wife. They're divorced. Uh, she had a battle with addiction. He has three daughters, and in order to protect his daughters, he felt the need to have her separate from the family. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so he, focused on taking care of his daughters, and so they're grown up a lot more now. So he feels like it's time that he can move on and look for love.
Yep.
Next, we have Kelsey. Yes,
That
Joey Kelsey
was
coming
such a nice
out.
surprise.
Well, I saw
I
him.
had heard about that, but then I had forgot about it. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I did hear about this. That was so cute." And Joan liked that man. She like, "Oh, thank you." She like, "Call me mom."
Yeah, yeah. So we see Joey's fiance Kelsey arrived with her dad. So if you've forgotten, we had seen her dad on Joey's season of The Bachelor, and also Final Rose. And he is named Mark. He's 57, so a little younger than Joan. An army vet from Louisiana. He has 5 children, including Kelsey, and he's widowed, and she did tell him she wanted him to move on, but it has been very difficult because she was perfect and
Perfect.
he filled his heart completely. And he does think that there's still room. He says that he feels like there is still room.
Yeah.
uh Listen, beautiful, like if I could ever find a man to love me like that, that
For
was,
him to be telling people, I just it because what I had was so perfect. Like, how could I have that again? My God, you hear me? My
yeah.
God.
Just just like I can't even I I can't even like describe how beautiful
Yeah,
those words were. um uh,
absolutely,
just
absolutely.
to even hear.
Yeah.
So
He raised his kids because Kelsey is the baby and she's engaged. So he's done his due diligence and, it's time to try to, he said there's room and there's hope. So I wish him the best with that. Like, they seem like they got along. He seemed like he was instantly attracted to her and she seemed like she was instantly attracted to him. So,
yeah, they definitely seem to have a lot of attraction for each other. And I was blown away by everything that he said about his wife, and then just his journey for love, right?
right.
um so listen, I am here for it. um so, you know, we will see with them. But who were your standouts in limo too?
So he was in a third limo, but he was a
No, no, I
standout.
think this was all still limo too.
No, him and Kelsey came in a separate
Oh,
limo.
they came in a separate limo.
Yeah,
Yes,
so I
that's
was
true.
like, technically he was in three, but him, and then also the guy with the separated from his wife because of addiction with the daughters, him,
Yes,
and what's his name?
Keith.
Keith, yes, and then um who else? Hmm. I thought the guy on the horse. I mean, it was a standout that he came on a horse, but other than that, he wasn't a standout to me.
Hmm.
Um, who else
Mm.
was Guy in this limo? Did we talk about
No, I was in the other limo.
other limo?
Mhm.
Um,
I will say is 2 out of 3 people in this limo that were eliminated were 2 of the 3 people who were eliminated was out of this limo.
okay, okay,
With one, I didn't think she was going to eliminate. That was. funny. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't think this limo was as much of a standout.
Right.
Like, for her, I will say we did have standouts. Like I thought Charles L and Charles K were really, standout
Oh,
personalities.
absolutely, Charles L. Oh, absolutely, and Charles K with the one-handed push-up. Yeah, but Charles L. Absolutely. Oh yeah, he was the first one in the movie.
Yeah.
We absolutely loved him. Yeah.
Guy, I do think that might be a dark horse in
Yeah.
this Joan um
Yeah.
journey. I do agree with you that I wonder if he is able to really kind of like the fact that he probably is still working, is like, what is that workload gonna look like for them to grow their romance, right?
Absolutely.
um
The guy, the black guy with the golden what's his name again with the golden blindfold?
Michael, that was Jonathan.
Jonathan, the thing that I mean, like, they had an instant attraction. I love their but the thing I worry about is his kids are still young, kind of, right?
Yeah.
And which was nothing wrong with it starting later in life, and his, but I'm just saying she has grown kids and grandchildren, so I just feel like he still has to be closer to them because he's still raising them, and I wonder
Right.
how that's going to work for them. I wonder.
Correct. So where does Joan live? He lives in Iowa
And she lives in Maryland,
and
right?
she lives in Maryland. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. That's a lot because he said that he stayed in Maryland. I mean, he stayed in Iowa because of his children.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, you're right. That would be a concern. And then I listen, Kelsey's dad. Debu has a point here. Um, I do think it's potential that he's the next Bachelor. He's so far made it farther than what's his name's mom than Patty did. He was eliminated like one. But maybe if she had
He
an
didn't even capture our hearts when he had his season and she was on the show. So I didn't know why they thought. I mean, that wasn't anyway.
I don't know. I felt like she needed a better entrance than she got. This type of entrance might have made an impact because it feels like she was his type, right? Like the hair coloring and I don't know.
Mhm.
So yes, I agree with you. Uh, Matt's mom was dumb. She got it.
I agree. It was like nothing to her.
Has to be. Okay. So we do start she's dying to get inside. She tells Jesse, who comes to her and asks her how she feels after meeting all the guys. And so she does start her one-on-ones. She's Pascal pulls her first. And he says he worked in the beauty industry. He's very comfortable with women and chemistry is important to him. And she tells him she's looking for a man who's kind and gentle and someone ready for adventure. He says he's very spontaneous and he won't, if we want to go to Paris for 4 days, we can do that. um, and so, listen, Pascal's doing this thing. He leaning into his little French.
Yes. That's always sexy. That accent is just always like attractive. So that's the icebreaker. That's always like a plus on your side, like to have a good accent. And he's not a bad looking man. So he got a good accent. He's not a bad looking man. He owns his own salon. He can be free to leave. He doesn't have to be there to make money. He can be away. And so
Yeah.
I'm with it. Like, that's a plus in my book.
And then he just like has all the right words. Like he tells her he would not be here if she wasn't the lead. Right?
Oh yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
And then he takes out a letter his son wrote when he left for the show and he reads it to her. He asked her to read it, which she declines because she doesn't have her glasses. So he reads it to her, and the letter, like, she just smitten.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so then the men are like the men's interaction. The beginning with the men's interaction was so funny.
Yes.
Like it was like a mini competition, but also it just
Supportive.
yes, but also supportive. Like they kept like feeling like okay, they're sizing each other up, but not like in a toxic masculinity type of way.
Right. Like the man said, maybe if this was 30 years ago, but not now. It's like, hey, we just gotta, we
Yeah,
just gotta be supportive.
so that was kind of funny to
Hmm.
watch. And then we see Dan. Dan was the private, I think, yeah, private investor from Florida. Talk about parenthood, and he realized he adopted his daughter, and it says that his kids are his world, and he takes his daughter's advice very seriously. Then we have Charles L. And Joan. It says that Joan has a lot of energy, and he then she talks to Charles K. And they race a electric mobile scooters.
Yeah. He's in the one with like the chair on the wheels, and then she's in it when they're racing down the thing. That looked fun. They were
Yeah.
having fun. That was fun.
And then we see Jordan come. Where was Jordan? Was Jordan in the first one or the second one? Jordan was in the first limo. He's from Chicago, and he's the one with the three daughters. Okay. And he is a girl dad, he says, and he gives her a sweatshirt from his grandson with a hot dog and a Chicago style pizza on it.
Oh yeah,
And,
it was supposed to be for her granddaughter.
oh, for her grandson. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
her granddaughter, the one that
That her daughter had. Got it.
yeah.
Okay. We have lots of girl dads in Chicago
I
represent.
know. They have like it's a lot of girls. It's more girl dads that she has to choose from than guy dad, boy dad.
I think it makes sense because remember she left the show to go take care of her daughter, and especially if you think about it, if most of these men their daughter are in their like early late teens or 20s, early 20s, or they do have children, they do have made them grand, but you want somebody who's going to put your children first even when you're gone.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then most of them have daughters because that's how they got on the show. The daughters are the one filling out the thing because they
Yeah.
don't even know how to go about it. They like, I didn't even what you talking about the show. They're like, Dad, you gotta go on. I signed you up. That type
Right,
of
right,
thing.
right, right. Like the daughter's watching, they're like, oh my god, she would be a great stepmother. Like
Right.
we gotta do this, right? So very, very cute. He whips out some pickleball props and they play pickleball.
Girl, so they think they was playing pickleball, and then everybody come out there, and the man said, "We not playing no pickleball. I don't know what we play."
And so they do join in a little bit, but I guess it's like their first group date, I guess.
Yes, technically.
So then we have Charles L, who is marveling at the huge refrigerator and all the meat that's in the refrigerator. Oh my gosh. And then we have Jack just walking around the house, just looking at all the mansion stuff.
Drinking that bourbon.
Yes. And then he just makes himself at home and starts
Girl,
cooking.
where he get his chef? He had told them people, have my chef coat in there because I'm a cook. He
Yeah.
in there cutting up garlic and onions. And I'm like, wait a minute. And here comes Charles L in there trying to get some or whatever. He like, let me know if you need like he in there.
I was like, first of all, who marinated the meat? Second of all, because he made a beef tenderloin.
I know. He like, how much longer? He like, this ain't gonna take about 30, 40 more minutes. I'm like, now, sir, how you cooking all that in 30 or 40 more minutes? How long you been in there cooking?
Right?
I'm like, these
Um,
people.
he does make her a nice plate of food. The food looked good. So
Yes.
whatever he was catering, it looked like he does a good job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. It
and
looked like he made two different sauces: the sauce for the tenderloin, the sauce for the asparagus. He had that rice. He was in there cooking, Chad.
yeah, and then Charles L makes some tea and desserts, which
Yeah,
I thought was so sweet.
yeah,
I love that he brought a little bit of his culture
yeah.
to this. So that was very, very sweet. So they
It
do
was sweet.
share first tea, him and Joan,
Oh,
and it was so sweet. So then we
I
see,
think he's so sweet. I like him. I don't know that they're going to be together, but I really like him.
I really like him too. And then we see like her just having like this conversation with Keith that you could just tell she just is so smitten with Keith.
Mm-hmm.
That Bruce says Jack and Charles, such great energy, bless them.
Yes.
Very much so, very much so. Like they are going to cut us up for the rest of the season. I can
Yes.
tell.
Okay. Think about this, right? Okay, so we said for Jack, we want Susan. Who
Yes.
can we get Charles with? Okay, that
Mm.
we know from the Golden Bachelor. Like, who do we think? What about my girl that was the pickleball queen? She was short with the blonde hair. She came in fourth place. You don't think her?
April?
No, April was the one that used to be a play. I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause
used
I was gonna say
no,
what
the other one. She was her friend died. Her best friend passed away from cancer during the. You know
oh
what I'm talking about?
Ellen.
Ellen. What about Ellen and Charles? What you think about that?
Maybe. Maybe. Maybe this person's not in the nation yet. We'll have to
Okay.
see.
Okay.
Or it's a mother somewhere. But maybe so hopefully somebody's watching him and they're like he would be perfect for like one of the ex-contestants' mothers or something like that. Like that
Uh-huh.
would be so sweet. Like Jen's mom or something like that. Like you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? But yeah, like that would be sweet. Ellen is a sweetie. I just don't know if she needs somebody who's more exciting or more laid back. That's the only thing.
Right.
She is like so she can be exciting, but she also can be like laid back. So I don't know what personality would work best with her.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
I just know that she really, really needed somebody kind. Like
She did.
life had dealt her. Like she wanted somebody kind.
She did. I agree with that. I do
So
agree
I just
with
thought, oh, he's
that part. It would be ideal for her. I
yeah.
just don't know if personality wise.
Yeah. No, I get it. You're right. Hmm.
Um, and then so we do see, she talks to Keith. She does talk to somebody else, but I could not remember
All right,
or
Keith did the cornhole.
yeah, the cornhole, and then she talked to somebody else, and then she decided to leave and then go grab the first
The
impression
first impression rose. He
after
talked
that.
to Guy after.
It was Guy. You're right. It was Guy. And then she went and grabbed the first impression rose. So, did you think she was going to give it to Guy, or did you think she was going to run back to
I
give it?
thought she was going to give it to Jonathan.
You thought she was going to give it to Jonathan.
I thought she was going to give it to Jonathan. I honestly did. Like when her and Jonathan talked, she was so like locked in with him, and I just thought they see each other about being invisible and all this stuff, and they were just really connecting. And when she started walking past everybody, and he was never in the group, I was like, she's going to find Jonathan.
Yeah.
But no,
Okay. Okay. I see it. I understand. Um, I like Jonathan personally.
yeah,
Right. I mean, most of these men are too much older for me, like my age. Like, like my age limit is a 10 years older. If I'm ever going to go that, and I don't tend to date older, I tend to date younger. Um, so, but so she does grab the first impression rose. She does go into the room. There's a group of guys there. She picks up the first impression rose. They're all kind of disappointed, but they realize it's not them.
Hmm.
And she passes a whole other group of guys. And then we see Keith sitting by the fireplace off to the side, just there. And he's like, there's so many like doors. And she does give it to Keith, and she does say, it's because he made her feel safe from the moment that he came in on that station wagon.
Hmm.
He
Talking
made
about the beach because she loved the
yeah,
beach. Hmm.
came in and made her feel comfortable. And that's what she needed for this journey.
And I think that's key because remember when she was putting those flowers at John's grave, she said, from the moment I met him at Ocean City, okay, this
Mm-hmm.
man has always made me feel comfortable and safe. And I have never not been comfortable and safe with him. So that's a big safety and security is a big thing. So for her to instantly feel that with Keith, I think that was like, oh, you know, maybe John sent him, with the Hawks and stuff. She
Yeah.
in the Hawks. And so I'm thinking she was like, oh my goodness, like another man is making me feel safe. And so I think that was, the thing that locked it in for him to get the first impression.
Yeah. Yeah. So Keith does get it. Not a bad pick in my opinion
Right.
for the Crash
Absolutely.
Rose. I've definitely seen worse. Not in the Golden franchise, but in the regular.
Right.
And then they go in and they sit down and they do videos from the children.
Oh, but Keith got a kiss too. We can't
Oh, he
forget.
got that's right.
He's the
Sorry.
only one that got a kiss. Uh-huh.
It is. And
Okay.
I was crying at this
Crying, girl.
video. Why would they do this?
Right. And the men were crying too.
And the
Okay.
men were crying, and then they were hugging each other and patting each other on the back, and just
Pumped it. I
oh
see you.
my
Good
god,
dad.
why
You're a
would
good
they
dad.
do
You're a good dad. Like, it's just like, oh my God. Ugh.
but it was beautiful and I loved it. I loved it because I think it was so for Joe's journey. And also, listen, Kelsey came and got to be, prop up her dad. Why
Right.
didn't everybody else?
It made the feel even. You see what I'm
Yes,
saying?
it
I
did.
like
It
it. I
absolutely
like
did.
it. Let me tell you about my daddy. I ain't coming no limo. But let me tell you about my daddy. Okay.
I
So I appreciate it.
absolutely loved it. I
Me too.
loved it. Especially, we it wasn't all children. There was some moms and dogs and grandchildren and stuff.
Right.
But I will say this, there are some great dads out there. And sometimes dads get the short end of the stick.
Yeah,
Moms
they
get a lot
do.
more
I'm
love.
a daddy's girl though, so mine doesn't. But I do know that sometimes daddies get the short end of the stick. But I love a good dad. You hear me? A
Yeah,
good dad.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we did see like Pascal's son, Charles L's daughter. Let's see who else. I think it was Charles K's son Ryan. Hey, Charles K's son Ryan.
He was cute, was he not?
Oh,
And that's you because you date younger. Because he looked like he about 30.
5. I was like, you fine? Call me. Oh my gosh.
And he was so proud. He was like, "That's my boy."
Dan's daughter, Jordan's daughter, and her partner.
Oh, that was nice.
That
And
was
the other one's
so
daughter, the one he
sweet.
adopted, girl, that tore him up.
Bob's daughter,
Mhm.
Gary's daughter, David's mom. It was just they just kept going. I was just like, why were you here?
I
It was
know.
so
What's the name?
sweet.
Daughter and
Oh,
daughter and grand.
grandson.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think it was Gary's daughter and grandson.
Uh huh.
Oh my gosh. Just so sweet. It was so sweet.
So sweet.
So after that, we couldn't avoid it any longer.
And I think that really, it was very sweet, but I think that also made Joan feel like these are such great men. Why tonight are you making me send them home
Yeah.
when I haven't even really got to talk to them and I just have seen representation of how good of men? I think that really was hard for her. Like,
Yeah,
why do I have to do that? Like,
yeah,
why do I have to do this? On the first night,
yeah. So it would have been hard for me to be like,
Me too.
and I mean, and even her cutting three, that would have been hard, especially after hearing all of that.
Yeah.
Because you want to give everybody the opportunity to fall in love, especially if they're you're getting that they're quality
Right.
people.
Man. Right.
So the first rose goes to Dan, and then we do see in order. Jonathan gets one, Mark gets one, Guy gets one, Charles K, Gil, Gary, Pascal, Chalk, Kim, Christopher, and Greg. And then she needs to take a break because she gets overwhelmed thinking about sending some of these guys home. And I can't blame her. I really
No,
can't.
me neither.
Jesse does like get her back into the headspace.
Mm-hmm.
And after pep talk, she goes back and she does hand her final sets of roses to Charles Al, Jordan, Bob, Michael, and Jack.
And good old Jack.
Um, and so going home tonight, Ken, who I thought looked like a grown up Ken doll,
Mm-hmm.
Pablo, who seemed very quiet. He had a bit of action. He was the UN
Yeah.
agency director, and RJ, who I was kind of surprised went home tonight,
I
Mister
think it was just so hard for her.
Eyes.
I think it was just so hard for her.
Yeah. I mean, other than one guy who we know should not still be there, and I
Mm-hmm.
kind of wish that RJ was still here instead of him. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but how was she to know? Not her fault.
No, it wasn't her fault. No.
So we do, and ultimately, he probably is not her person. So that's where we are. So I mean, I'm excited to watch where we go. I like these men again.
I like him too. I'm
Where like
excited.
where we were with the Golden Bachelor, I really liked the cast and I was really excited to see who he ended up with. And I thought we
Yeah,
had a great journey. And I feel like we are gonna have maybe an even better journey here.
absolutely. I think so too. I just always think the women choose better anyway. So,
True. Very, very
so
true.
I really, I have, I feel like, I'm very hopeful with the season. I'm a fan of Jones, and I think she has a good crop of quality men, and I'm excited for her journey. I'm excited for her to fall in love again.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to know that she can still have all of these feelings over here for him, the father of her four children, the love of her life, but then find the love of her latter life and be happy. I hope that for her. Like.
Me too. I do. What did you think? Did you watch the previews?
Yes, I watched the previews.
So what did you think about Gary potentially coming on?
I don't know why he's there.
That's what I said.
I was like, that was a failure. I mean, arm. Why did you bring him back? I did not feel like he needed to be there. Okay. I didn't think he needed to be there. If anything, I felt like they could have brought some other bachelorettes or something to give her some advice. I don't know. I just didn't feel like he needed to be there. But I
Bring
guess.
Dalton at this point. Bring Dalton. Oh
I
my.
just was like, really? Okay. But mm-mm.
Mm-mm. So yeah, that wild to me.
Right.
But that is pretty much it for a recap. So far, I think this was a great episode. I'm excited to see where we go from here. So guys, we are still trying to figure out when we will be recapping this show. But you know, we wanted to get this recap in before the second episode.
Right.
Um, and Dabu agrees. Like, we'll fill her head that her man may not be there. Like, for what? Like, what
Why
again?
would you say that?
Why would you say that? I can't listen, Gary. I'm trying very hard to not have a problem with you. So we once we figure it out, we will have a schedule put out of when we will consistently, hopefully, be here.
Mm-hmm.
And Chantel should hopefully be be back with us to
Yeah, I think she's gonna try sometimes. I
yeah.
think she was saying, she be in and out. So,
So
but
um
we'll be here.
we will be here for the duration of the season. I'm excited to see how this unfolds. And so go ahead, Miss T Joy, and tell the people where they can find you.
At Miss T Joy on all social media platforms.
And you working on anything right now?
Working on nothing but work. And I'm just watching TV and getting in where I fit in and all of that good stuff and trying to watch everything, which is very hard. And
Very hard.
so.
Oh my God. So as always, follow me on Entertainment in Color everywhere. Entertainment in Co Media on Twitter. And then Facebook Entertainment in Color, as well as Instagram and TikTok. I am currently covering this. I'm going to try to figure out covering Traders Canada. If you're one of my Traders Canada followers, I do want to try to figure out a way. I might just do it on TikTok. I know you're saying, but Tamika, you said you would cover on TikTok. Yes, I get it. I understand. I am still trying to figure out how to make TikTok work for me here. Just get like, let me get a feel
Let
for
her
it.
cook. Let her cook.
Let me cook. I I've been watching stuff. I tried to watch The Circle. I keep falling asleep. I watched all of Love Is Blind UK again.
I Love Is Blind UK.
I watched it all at once. So I don't know if that impacted how I felt about the season at the end.
Oh, okay.
I never gave my thoughts on it, but it was good.
Yeah, it was good. I'm excited about the new season
So that's what I
of
was
the
gonna
US.
say. So then we have the new season of Love is Blind US, which is in DC. I would like to cover it.
I
I
would
hate
love to cover it.
I hate covering Netflix shows because they drop all the episodes at once and then everybody's talking about it from 3 a.m. in the morning and I can't be bothered.
It's hard because they drop in 4 episodes at a time, 3 or 4. Like usually it's 4, then it's 3 and 3. Um, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And guys, like if you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, I'm still in a Love Highland USA haze because
Oh my God, we're obsessed. And let me tell y'all, let me just say this. Tamika is always invested in the Love Island people, right? Her and
Mhm.
Chantel are always invested. I watched the show, but I'm kind of late to the party, as in the UK version. But I've watched from 2 to 6 of the US. I never watched season 1. But the UK, I dabble in and out, whatever. So I'm late. And I've always been like, oh yeah, I like them, but I'm not. Let me tell y'all something. I am obsessed with these people from season 6, and I never thought I would be one of those people, especially Cordell and I am obsessed.
Obsessed.
Every time I see a picture, I'm like, yes, they're together. I mean, now they're in Bermuda, and I'm gonna tell you, I was like, I love Serena. She is such a girl's girl, and she's so loyal. As soon as the thing, she was like, Mimi is booked and busy. Like, don't be coming. I love that about her. Like, she not gonna let y'all be in them comments coming from Mimi. Not on her watch. Like, she booked and busy. This is a last minute trip. She can't be there. Move on. Like, don't be saying nothing about Mimi. We'll hook soon. We'll meet up soon or whatever. But I'm obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with them loving. I wanted to see them first tell each other they love each other, but I know that was a private moment. But why am I so obsessed? I'm like, when did they first start saying it?
I know. So if you don't know, they are on a brand trip for Topical and Josh from Love Island. Josh.
No. What you said?
Topical.
What's that? Like a skincare
brand? Yes.
Oh, Topical.
So follow Topical and Josh from Love Island UK, winner of season 11, is also there. Mimi is not there. Mimi's booked and busy, as Serena said. That being said, guys, listen, I can't get enough of them. I can't get enough of the top three, especially Cordell and Serena, and especially Janae and Kenny. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. For me,
their new commercial. Now, who are they? What is that commercial?
They did a energy. Is it energy drink? Electrolyte drink. I bought it. Bought it. Listen, I'm influenced. They influenced me. I would buy. You guys know that I always support my fave, so I would buy stuff anyway. But I will say, as someone who watched season 2, watched the aftermath of season 2 USA, watch season 3, watch the aftermath of season 3. This feels like the ultimate redemption story for me.
Yes.
To have 3 couples. Sorry. Don't misunderstand me. I love Leah and Miguel. They
really grew on me. Leah and Miguel grew on me because I wasn't sure if Miguel was as serious. Like, Miguel is serious about that woman. He ain't been back to London since. His ass came here for that reunion. Came to surprise her for her birthday, and then for the reunion, and ain't been back since. Hello, I mean, is it called I'm gonna be living in the USA? And I'm not. His friends had to come here to visit him because he ain't going back. Okay, so now I'm obsessed with them too.
Obsessed with that woman. I love it. I am always going to, as you guys know, promote the Black women first because we don't get our due. Right. And to watch 2 Black women not only get not all their due, but a pretty good chunk of it. Listen, Serena's about to hit 2 million on Instagram. She's already past 2 million on TikTok. Janae's about 1.8 on Instagram and a little over 1 million on TikTok. People who, in my opinion, were stars of the season, to see them being loved out loud by 2 wonderful men.
Right.
I am always going to promote them first. And that's no knock to Leah and Miguel. I love their relationship.
Me too.
Love their relationship. I support I follow them. I do share some of their content. I'm just always going to talk about the 2 Black women first. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We never get it. We never get it.
Never.
We never get it. And I just love that. And even with Mimi and Josh, they are still, as far as we know, dating. They were spotted like a week or so ago together, out and about, like just doing regular things. They're mostly keeping their relationship off camera, which I'm fine with. I love it. They'll let us know where they end up. I think they have great potential. People are like, oh, he hasn't asked her to be boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm like, they were in the villa 2 weeks before they came out and won. Like,
and they still haven't had a lot of time to be together because she's instantly booked and busy. So, I mean, if you think about it, they still haven't spent like solid time. And it takes time for people to be comfortable. You forget. I mean, even though y'all were saying that she was pushing him off, Cordell and Serena were together from day one. So that whole time they were together. You know what I mean?
They've been together since June, right? Yeah. Right. They started in June this season. So June, and we are in almost October.
Right.
Cordell and Serena have been together
Mhm.
Even if you count Casa, Cordell and Serena were not together for 4 days. That was
Right.
Casa.
Right.
4 days. That's it. 4 days. They built, and I said this to my friends that I talk to frequently about this. They built such a solid foundation to come out to Cordell and Serena.
That's why you can get these funny TikTok videos because they are really friends and
Yeah.
they're funny together and they get along and they get each other's weird, goofy, like they are each other. She laughs at everything he does. Like she thinks it's hilarious. Like,
Yep.
you know, and she'll put on these onesies with him because it's his idea. I know it's his idea. But she's like, and he,
No, it's not necessarily his idea. If you check her TikTok, that girl likes to dress up. I cannot wait for their Halloween
Halloween.
costumes.
I
She
think
is
Miguel and
very
Leah gonna do it up too. I think
excited.
Miguel and Leah gonna do it up too.
I agree. I agree. So
Uh,
I'm so excited. And then Janae has disappeared, but we think Miss Mama is booked and busy, and I can't wait to see what she's been working on.
she was on a trip with her friends, right?
No.
That's not what
No.
I thought she showed the bill. I thought her and her friends.
When you translate it, it says, "Take me back to Tulum." She was in Tulum with her friends in April before she went on the show.
Oh, so she was showing an old video, but she did get on a plane somewhere, right? Because she was telling Serena, "I'm sorry, I'm not at the party. I'm stuck in the airport." Right?
Yeah.
That was real, or she wasn't stuck at the
That
airport.
was absolutely
Okay.
real. But I think it was a throw off.
What do we think she's working on? What are your thoughts?
I okay, so there's one school of thought that she's doing a reality TV show. So
Okay.
she's been gone for almost 2 weeks. So either it's like a 2 or 3 week show, so she should be home soon, or she's working on something and we just don't know what yet. Can't wait. Hi, Kayla. Thank you. Kayla says, I don't watch The Bachelor, but I miss hearing y'all talk, so I'm staying. Ah,
Hi,
thank you.
Kayla.
We miss you guys too. That's what I'm saying. I tried to find something to cover, but I'm telling you, I was just swamped with work and literally trying to cover that season of The Bachelorette would not have been.
I'm glad we didn't, because that I would have been so mad at Devin had I been invested in covering that.
Yeah.
And then let me.
I didn't like him while I watched it. I didn't like him at all season.
I didn't like any of them. That was the
I didn't
problem.
like any of them. I didn't like any of them. True. I didn't like any of them.
I kept saying I don't like these people.
I didn't like any of them. I'm scared for Grant's season. I do know that they tried to cast specifically for Grant. They did put out a cast list of his women, so we will see. But guys, they need to do better. There are so many things that they need to do better on.
Oh, they already have his women?
Yeah, they did. They put it out. I think it might be on their Facebook page.
Was it a lot of black women?
Not a lot. There was a lot of people of color. Dabu says, y'all realize those men will be on Paradise. Listen, there's a few of them that can definitely go on Paradise, and I'm fine with it. Just 90% of them need to stay home.
Listen,
Another flop coming.
They need to do a golden paradise.
They really do.
And then let Jack and Susan meet on there.
Well, they're retooling Paradise. That's why we didn't get it this season. So we'll see what that means for us, right? Like how that comes about. But by that time we're gonna have Jen's people. Who else did we just have? Charity's people, Jen's people, Joey's people, and then Grant's.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even another. Oh, so then there might be another Bachelorette because they'll probably record that Bachelorette season, and those people end up on thing. So it's gonna be a lot, but yeah. So very happy we didn't cover that. I was not a fan of 90% of her men. And I did see a lot of people blaming her, but I'm going to be fair. Devin purely lied to her, guys.
Yeah, he did.
Marcus, yes, Marcus was I get it because
But I
there's
need somebody that knows how to open their mouth and communicate. And Marcus was acting as though he's not healed from his trauma. Like he can't
not,
openly
but
communicate.
but see, it was like two people trauma bonding. It's two people trauma bonding. That's what that was.
And Jonathan,
Listen, love my Jonathan so much, but he is a Leo. He is a Leo. Listen, I think they would have absolutely worked out if she had chosen him. But she didn't choose him.
right?
He's a Leo. She didn't choose him. He waiting for paradise. They're friends. I don't see anything coming of it. I would be not shocked, but I would be surprised if something comes of it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're so cute. They do little TikToks together. Very, very cute. But I think they're just friends.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Back to Cordell and Serena. If he turned up for her birthday, did he not?
Girl, I said that they were going to have an industry party. But I thought it was going to be in LA, and she was going to go home and do like a family thing, and then come to LA and do a big, huge industry party. And they did a huge industry party in Houston, which I loved.
Hey, Mary.
Listen,
A 2-day event, baby. It's like
Mary, definitely watch. We'll be back within the next week to talk episode 2. Watch, it was good. It was absolutely good. And then come back and watch the recap. Yes, absolutely did a good job. Their New York Fashion Week hit. Listen, they are it.
Him in that fur coat, that was his best. He did him in that colorful fur coat, baby. That was when I saw him. I was like, them other outfits I could, because he got a unique style. But when he came in that fur coat, I was like,
yeah.
Oh.
And meanwhile, Serena has not missed once.
No.
Not one hairdo, not one outfit, not.
I love the brown with her, the birthday, the cat, baby, with the light, baby.
That cat suit was, I thought it was a cat suit. It's actually a 2-piece.
Oh, it's a 2-piece.
She sold out the bodysuit and the gloves. $950.
She wore it so well.
She did. And then a lot of the other pieces that she's worn are either pieces that have been like, they're like sold out, meaning like you can't get them. She had to get them from vintage. She is it. And haven't I been saying that she is it since the show? I said it. Every day I thank God that I saw what I saw in her, and while every other recapper was going off on the person that Serena was, that I saw the it girl.
Yeah.
I didn't just support her in her Serena-isms.
I support women and their rights and their wrongs.
I supported her because I knew I said, guys, she is it. You're not getting it. Her one-liners, the way she dressed, like I said, this girl has it. You're not getting it. She has it. And I'm glad I stuck to that. So listen. So I'll continue to chit chat here and there with others about Love Island. Or if you guys want me to do TikToks to talk Love Island, let me know. Like I can do that. I can start telling you guys what they're up to. I know other people have been doing that. I didn't know if people wanted to hear yeah. So I can absolutely start doing stuff like that. And then what else is coming out? There's so many shows coming out in the next year. Love Island Games will be back. If you did not see my TikTok on that, it has been greenlit for a second season. We're still waiting to hear.
I'm sure Taylor and Liv will be on there.
Taylor, Liv, Kendall, Nicole, possibly. All Stars will be.
Oh my God. I do not want to see Kendall. I hate that Kenny even still hang out with him.
The thing about Kenny, he is such a sweetheart, but I realized after observing him, Kenny did not have friends. Right? Like not that he didn't have no friends. I mean, like where he lives. And even like he went to LA for the commercial they just did, and he hung out with Harrison. And it like I the thing that this show did was bring him friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that for him. He has a lot of family, but what it did was really bring him more people, including Janae. And I love that for him. And
Mm-hmm.
they're just so sweet together. So Mary says All Stars. No, I know, Mary. It's not my preference of show, and we'll see if we cover it probably, but yeah, I don't know.
All Stars?
Love Island All Stars.
Is that gonna be in the UK?
Yeah. Season 2, it'll be in January. Mary
Okay.
says give us a gay Love Island or a lesbian Love Island, and I don't want any All Stars. Listen, fair. Absolutely. Listen, you guys know I love love. I watch all of it. I have. I don't care. I do not care. So I love love. I love watching love. I will watch all of it. Give me whatever. Give me all the love. As long as there's couples that work out in the end, I don't care. So um yeah, so we will be back next week for episode 2. We'll, watch my socials. I'll put out when we figure out the schedule. And yeah, I'll try to do some like TikToks and stuff on both traders and possibly what's happening postseason Love Island US, Love Island UK. We know all these people broke up, but none of that is a shock.
No.
No. So thank you guys for joining us. We miss you guys. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time.